Hello and welcome another edition of Coach's Corner. When I'm talking with parents and student athletes, I always talk about widen your lens. Don't just think about one school, one conference, one geographical area. Open up your brain, open up your mind, and really look for opportunities. And today we're going to be talking to what I consider, as Coach Corbs will say, he's one big ball of energy. And today we're going to talk to Austin Peay head coach Roland Fanning. And Coach, I am really excited to talk to you today, and thank you for making some time.
No, thank you for making it happen. And you reached out. I got kind of excited about it. I don't get asked to do these things very often, and you're a baseball guy, so I always love to talk baseball with authentic baseball men.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you very much for your kind words. Let's just talk
Yeah,
Atlantic Sun Conference, and you've been in the SEC, you've been in the Big 12, and now you're finding yourself as the head coach in a conference at a school that I love. I love the campus. I love everything about Austin Peay. But tell us what makes Austin Peay as a college a great experience for future college student athletes.
yeah. A couple things. Also a Division two coach. I'm really proud to say I started at Division two school.
Amen.
And then you said the A Sun. So listen, I talk about the A Sun kind of being the mid major conference in the SEC map. Our
Yep.
mid-major schools touch all the same states, right? Which I think is really important when you look at the transfer portal. And guys may be at Vanderbilt with friends and don't want to really leave the area, and they come 30 miles down the road here, or Tennessee, or Louisville up the road, or Kentucky, right? The A-Sun's a great conference. It's got great mid-major baseball. Has some really historic programs in it. We've been able to really hop in here in 3 years and win back-to-back regular season championships and really kind of move the needle and get Austin Peay back to where historically it's supposed to be, which is at the top. And you mentioned Austin Peay. Yeah, Austin Peay is. I mean, there's a lot to like. I mean, listen, I'm a patriotic dude. This is one of the cleanest, most patriotic towns you'll ever see. Fort Campbell, right down the road, the second largest army base in the country. Then 35, 40 miles down the road, you got Broadway Street in Nashville. It's the fastest growing city in Tennessee. And I got an athletic director and a president that got their hair on fire, and they are awesome. That's where it starts. And the people here have been awesome, from breaking multiple attendance records to having 1,500 to 2,000 people at a fall game that we do, to alumni support, resources, facility upgrades. The campus is not too big, not too small, but at the same time, it, people in Clarksville will really gravitate to a winner. And we've proven we can do that. And our players and coaches deserve the credit, no doubt about it. But Austin Peay, we didn't make Austin Peay, right? Before we got here, they'd already won 11 championships. They'd been to 6 regionals, twice the 2 seed. They'd had, I think the time 70, I think 7 draft picks. They'd had 24 All Americans. They had history and tradition, and we've been able to really add that the last 3 years, which we're proud of, and continue to grow the brand. And but yeah, Austin Peay is again, it's got a unique rallying cry, and let's go P, right? And I think right now our brand is hot. Our baseball brand is hot. Our players are scattered throughout, the Appy League and Cape Cod, and we're able to play baseball games and compete versus the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12. It really doesn't matter. Any pitch, any place, we'll show up and let it rip. And Austin Peay's been great. It's been great for me. And again, we'll talk about this maybe. My journey's a little different. I've been told no a lot. I actually just texted my AD the other night and told him thank you for hiring a player development guy from Oklahoma State, because a lot of people told me no, and this place gave me a shot and took a chance on me. So I'm really grateful for them choosing the right person, not maybe somebody from a bigger school that maybe a different title. And I'm very appreciative of the opportunity we've been given here, and we've taken full advantage of it.
Well, one of the things that validates not only their decision to bring you on board as their head coach, but let's talk a little bit. Every day we hear about players going into the portal, transferring out of schools.
Yeah,
But one of the things that you're really proud of, and rightfully so,
yeah.
this year, everybody's coming back. Nobody's really heading out for greener pastures. Talk a little bit about what it's like to be a part of your program, and how the athletes really feel greatly appreciated.
Yeah, man, really, really appreciate you asking that question because it's important. Because in this day and age, mid-major coaches are always scared to death of the portal season, right? Listen, it could happen to us tomorrow, right? I counted. We got 20 more sleeps for the portal closes, but I can tell you, is last year we had 10 all conference players,
Yeah.
right? And the ones that had eligibility left, none of them left. They stayed. And we had guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was guys that were tampering with them. You know what they did? They picked up the phone. They called me and said, "Hey, coach, this is going on." We just had to call the coach and say, "Hey, you need to knock that off. The guy's not leaving. He told you no. Stop." I'm not scared to have that conversation. That's probably why there's some SEC recruiting coordinators not nibbling on my roster because I'm not scared to call them, right? And so,
Right.
um, same time, same time, um, our guys this year, right? We had 11 all conference players. 11 this year. Everybody in our lineup but one. Last year I had a first team all conference third baseman that hit 13. I had a center fielder that hit 24, went up to the Cape and played. And I had a first team all conference catcher that went to play first, but they all came back. And I think it's because we've had so many transfers that have come in. The portal's been good to Austin Peay. I'm not complaining. If at some point somebody leaves, then it is what it is. But I think because they come here and I allow these guys to tell their stories in the fall, how they were treated where they're at, how it didn't work out, and some guys were at some really cool places making some money, and even though they were making money, when you don't play, it really doesn't matter, right? And to be able to really get in the game and get some sweat equity in the place, you got to be able to play and perform. And we've always recruited to a small team. I say a small roster. We've never been over 40 here. The most we've ever had is 39 to start the fall. Heck, we've even had 35 one year. And so we're committed to coaching them, and we have a vision here and what we call the house, and people buy into it because it's real, and they get a chance to be their best authentic self, which is really hard to find and be able to do at a lot of places because some places are like, hey, you have to do it this way, this way, this way, and as long as these guys go to class and do things right the field, I'll line them up on game day and let them be their best self. And I think that's why guys like it here. And there's a lot of we've all been through some adversity and challenges in our life. And you don't always get who you want in recruiting, but you get who you are, and fit is important for future performance. And yeah, it's been really cool to see our guys kind of like this place, love this place, and I'll say this too. I've said this the last two seasons. When you're a coach, you've been a coach, and there's years that you got some guys you're like, I'm ready for this year to be over with, so this guy's out of here. I can genuinely tell you, I've loved every single player. I have not liked a player in our locker room the last 2 years, and it's not because we won a championship, just the humans and how vulnerable they are and how hard they work. And I'm just appreciative of the player. And I'm a player's guy. I'm a player's coach. It's no secret, but they've been great.
One of the things I really want to take a deep dive into is a lot of parents see the portal and all the settlement news and the roster caps as a negative. And in reality, it's actually a fantastic
Yeah,
opportunity because now you're going to see talent spreading out. And, the Rumbles this year, obviously, Murray State, they're going to be, facing UCLA and Omaha,
yep,
Wright State. We saw a lot of schools really getting big news or
yeah,
big results, as a now referred to as mid majors. Talent's everywhere now.
yeah.
And so it's not just going to be a four conference horse race to get to Omaha. Talk a little bit about why this is a good thing as far as opportunities being spread amongst all of the 300 various Division One teams.
Yeah, it's going to kind of stop some of the big paydays in some places, right? There is going to be a cap at some places now, so you're going to have to kind of manage your scholarship dollars and your rev share differently, right? Which is good. I also like it because you look at like I said, go to last year's team like Lyle Miller Green, and again, he just didn't play at Oklahoma State. He got 15 at bats. He come here and he hit 31 homers last year. He was drafted. That wouldn't have happened somewhere else. And again, you allow players to kind of go somewhere and have a chance to have a career and impact the team and have a great college experience. And yeah, there's some kids that go in the portal that shouldn't. They're chasing greener grasses, and you know what? They'll probably keep making the wrong decisions because they're looking for the wrong thing. And I think that's why you'll continue to see the parity in college baseball continue to be good because you see it all the time. Like, and not just Tuesdays, weekend series. You'll see maybe a mid major go compete with an SEC school. This isn't football. This isn't basketball. Um, like when Coastal Carolina rolls into an SEC game, they're like, we better be ready. When I watched one of my coaches, Coach Littell, he played in the 2016 College World Series with Oklahoma State, where Coastal won it. My brother coached at Oral Roberts, a school of 3,000 people, a private school in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Those guys were in Omaha. You kidding me? Out of the Summit League? You kidding me? I mean, Murray State, Coach Kirk is doing a great job down there. But again, they got in the tournament. And what people understand is if you just can win your conference tournament if you just get in, you're 5 wins away from Omaha, 5. And a lot of times, being the team on the road, there's a lot of freedom in that because there's a lot of pressure being the home team and supposed to win and all these things. And so, yeah, I think it's great. I don't see a negative in it. And listen, I'm also by myself in that department. I am. There are a lot of coaches that hate it. I love the portal. I think it's great because I've also been an SEC recruiting coordinator. I've also been in the Big 12 and seen where there's 50 guys in the fall and guys get cut at break and their worlds torn apart and their hearts broken, right? And what I love about this model, I wish they would make it August, and whenever school starts, it's got to be 34 because we would
Right.
find out real fast, Coach. I want you to write this nugget down. We would find out really fast who can evaluate, who can coach,
Bingo.
and who can retain relationships in the dadgum clubhouse. Because anybody can go pick 60 players and pick the best 25, but who can really evaluate and then build real relationships? That's what I want to know.
Evaluation is the key
Yeah,
foundational piece to being a college coach. You have to
no
see
doubt,
beyond today. What are they going to become?
no doubt.
On that note, I need you to tell me, where does a high school athlete fit now for Austin Peay? What is
Yeah,
it used to be maybe you'd bring in, whether it be at Kentucky or Division II or even, Oklahoma State,
yeah.
you bring in 10, 15 high school freshmen high school graduates every year to be college freshmen. What is it now? What does it look like now for the high school
For
athlete within
for
your
for
program?
for us, it's got to be a couple things. I mean, it's when it was we signed 3 this year, 3 high school kids, and there's and they're good. You better have a real tool. You better be strong. And usually pitchers are where you'd want to take a guy because they're more likely to help you out right now because of the arm works for 60 foot 6 inches anywhere in America, and the hitter sometimes a little bit behind maybe because of the lack of seeing that type of arm skill that college arms have. But we took some guys that 1 6'6", 270 pounds, and a 2-way player. Maybe he looks like a baby Lucan Baker. Strength is important. We took a guy that got let go from an SEC school in our state, who's a 2-way player, left-handed pitcher, left-handed thumper. I mean, hitting balls 460 feet in batting practice. Okay, at camp. And we took a guy that's an older high school guy. He's graduating at 19, but he's a left-handed hitting catcher, and those left-handed hitters and left-handed pitchers are hard to get to school that are good. And so, you try to find a skill that you can actually see impacting your team early, and then also what you can get them better at. And so, yeah, I think for the majority of people, you're looking for older, you're looking for JUCO transfer, you're looking for 4-year transfer. But if the right high school guy comes around, it's just got to be a go back to fit. You don't always get who you
Right.
want, but you get who you are, and it's got to be the right fit. And these kids fit what we're doing, and because again, the way we play is not for everybody. Like you got to, I mean, to be a freshman to come in our locker room with a bunch of 21 to 22, 23 year olds, like you better like to compete. You better like to get after it. You better like to have tough conversations. You better like some banter, um, because this locker room is gonna demand it. It's gonna happen. And again, the guys we got, we're really excited about. But yeah, I think the high school things changed, which again, it was out of control. Coach, it was out of
Right.
control.
Right.
Like you look up on a
Absolutely.
football game Saturday, and there's 25 unofficial visits with guys that don't even know their locker to their high school locker, right? The lock. Probably hadn't took a girl on a date yet, right? And we're asked to make a college decision. It's just out of
Right.
control.
Right. I want you to kind of go down this path. You just talked a key phrase for me as a
Yeah,
coach was always getting parents to understand your son and I are going to have a lot of tough conversations.
yeah,
And you need to explain to parents, more importantly to student athletes, all your life you've been told within an industry that wants to, you're paying to play.
yeah,
When you get to Austin P, you have to understand results matter. Being
yeah,
able to execute matters. You're not guaranteed anything because mom and dad paid for something. Those tough conversations are about getting athletes to understand how to earn, how to be accountable, how to be responsible, more importantly, how to be resilient
Yeah.
in the face of adversity. Talk about those tough conversations with student athletes, especially at the younger years, trying to tell them what they need to hear
Yeah.
as opposed to what they want to hear.
Well, listen, there's no doubt there's a language barrier between a text message these days and a real conversation, right? And sometimes we're all subject to this. A 2 minute conversation, 10 minute conversation that might be hard can save you 3 or 4 nights of sleep. But so a lot of times people are scared to have the conversation. I would tell you, my first year being a head coach, I didn't do a good job of that. I'm a tough grade of myself. I had to get better at that part. Being the assistant coach for a long time, you have some tough conversations, but you're not the guy that's telling them, hey, this isn't going to work anymore, or the scholarship's got to change, whatever, right? Or even again, like I didn't uphold some things in our house that I said I would as a head coach in year one, and I learned real fast, like you better have them. So I made a commitment to our program to be better at that. And I think it's just, here, listen, I'm different. I told you this earlier. I got an open door policy. Like we don't do whining, complain, excuses, or gossip. I'm not into soft, lazy, selfish, or energy vampires. We coach our guys in the front end on how we're going to handle those things when they pop up. We coach our guys to, if they hear these things, see these things, to say, hey, we don't do that here. If you got a problem with how things are ran, go to coach's office. My door's open, whether it be family problems, personal problems, playing time issues, whatever it may be. It's just not to be talked about amongst the team or be a distraction. Come to my office, we'll have the conversation. You can yell at me in that moment. Heck, I've let them cuss at me in that moment. As long as the door's shut, we can have a man conversation, right? And I think that helps, just to have that open dialogue and knowing that when something's bothering them, I'm not going to judge them. I don't hold a grudge. I mean, listen, you could come in now. I'd rather have that conversation with you instead of mom or dad, no doubt about it. And that's where I think that we're different, because a lot of even coaches I've worked for in the past wouldn't want that to happen. They wouldn't think that's how it should be. I just think athletes are different, and people are like, oh, these guys are different. They're soft. Well, are they? Or are you just not willing to change? Or you're
Right.
not willing to adapt? There's things that I like to do that the players might not like to do. That's okay. I like to wear green shoes. They may not. That's okay. I'm a loud talker. They're not. That's okay. But we will be honest. We will be pretty straightforward. And on the other side of this, coach, I let our players help build our standards and how we're going to do things. They have a lot of say so. When the player says we're going to do something and the team says we're going to do something, then it's my job to make sure they're just doing what they say. Hey, they told me. This guy told me in our one-on-one meeting how they're going to be in the classroom. This guy tells me he wants to be a 3.0 student, but he's giving me a 2.0 effort. Well, then it's my job to get him back on the road. If these guys say that we're really going to do things right off the field, but we're not doing things right off the field, then hey, this is the way you guys said we should handle this, because we want to win championships, and championships, not just champion. We want to win multiple, and if the classroom's right and things are off the field right, then we give ourselves a chance to do that. But like, I can't tell you not to be soft, and then I'm soft and not have the hard conversation. And so I can't tell you not to whine and complain about things. And when I see it, I gripe about it amongst our coaches, and then I'm the leader and I don't say something about it. So I've just said, uh, whenever something comes up, I'm going to try to handle as fast as possible. And I've been committed to that the last 2 years, and so have our players. And it's been really, really beneficial for our whole entire program. It's been awesome to see, to be honest with you.
Well, I would tell you right out of the gate, we have a lot of similarities right there. I used to call my guys and give them a locker room session. And if that door shut behind them, they were able to say, Coach, you're fat, you suck,
Yeah,
I don't care what comes out of your mouth, but you're going to tell me everything that's in your heart,
yeah,
and I'm never going to hold you. And did that with my boys, my
yeah,
sons. So it's a big part of growing up. So I want to ask you, coach, parents in particular,
yeah.
always ask me, what are the key metrics? And I mean like foot speed, I don't need exit velocity and spin
True.
rates. When you're out evaluating an athlete to
Yeah.
play the middle of the diamond, to be a catcher, what are some of the things that are must haves for an athlete in order for them to become a possible recruit at Austin Peay?
Well, I don't know if I can say this, and this is not a
You can.
cliche line, but like, are you eligible? How are your grades? I don't need you to be a four.
Oh,
I don't need you to be a 30 ACT, but I'd like for you to be a 3.0 GPA. See, a GPA is something that's consistent on everyday work, week to week work, right? That's something that you have to go earn. You just can't go get lucky on a test. I'm a terrible test taker. Like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't make very good on my ACT at all. I could have added 3 scores up and not even made the perfect score still. So like, but like, I think that's where it starts a lot of times, because parents want to talk about finances and all the things. Like, man, a good academic scholarship can package together with an athletic scholarship to make a really, really good deal for people. So that's where it starts when we start looking. But you start looking at the athlete. I want to know, like, how much does he strike out? Is he willing to put the ball in play? Does he run hard 90s? Like, is strength. I'm gonna say this: if you said one thing, strength for a high school kid trying to go to college, it's as much about strength as it is anything else. And you're like, hey, why do you say it? Because you can't homers? No, no, no. Like being a good player in high school is different than being a good player in college, because there's academics in the morning, there's practice, there's weights, maybe academics again at night, the mental fatigue that kicks in really fast, the movements that they've been able to get away with lazy technique, and now they're having to do things better. They're sore. They're like, holy cow, it's hitting them in the face. And then, like, have they been through life adversity? I like kids that have been through life adversity. Has a parent been sick? Have you lost somebody? Have you transferred? Have you been cut somewhere? Because the game is meant to fail 70% of the time anyways. And if most of my guys have been through life adversity, so when the game punches them in the face, they've already been there, done that. The game's nothing. I look for adversity. I look for strength, and then listen. I look for personality. Listen, my 11-year-old daughter. If I took her to a game, she can see who the best player is. That's easy. I want to know his competitive spirit. I want to know if he's able to have some personality, hold a conversation. Like, when I talk to recruits, there sometimes I talk to them for an hour and 20 minutes in the first conversation. Some of them last 15, 20. That's the low end. I mean, but like, I'm looking for those things. I know that doesn't help you out as far as like metrics, stuff like that. Everybody can give you the cliche line of tools and grades. That's all eyewash, man. Like, the good player is a good player. I want good humans. I want personality. I want energy. I want enthusiasm. I want somebody with some razor sharp edge, because we can coach the execution. We can coach the better arm strength. We can coach the swing. I mean, we've taken guys that have no college experience and turn them into 370 and 20 home run guys. I'm not scared to coach. It's more about, do they have a skill that you see that you can coach, and are they going to be adaptable to coaching? And the guy's got personality. The guy's got some grit. The guy's got some. There's some words I want to say, but they like to get after it, right? This place could be for them, and this place ain't for everybody, and that's okay. But at the same time, personality, strength, character, makeup, and again, I've taken guys that have had a track record of not having great character. Ha! How about that? Hey, coach, this guy's a hothead. Great, that's my type of guy. He's a good player. I can handle that. It's really simple. Have the tough conversation when he gets in the door the first day. Really simple. I've been told not to take players, not to take them. They're draft picks. They're playing professional baseball right now. Some of them are even in the big leagues. As you know, you got sons that play at a high level. We all got our challenges. Depends on if you want to be a guy that judges people, then you're probably not the greatest human either, because we all got our issues. And again, I don't like to see the bad in kids, I like to know kind of what their challenges are and see if we can help get them over the hump. And then, because the baseball, a kid leaves LSU, kid leaves Vanderbilt, kid leaves. It's not because they got there because they're a bad player. They're probably pretty good. They've lost some confidence. They've lost maybe a little bit of their edge, and maybe their joy for the game. And that's our job to help kind of get them back on track. And again, I gave you a long answer to really probably a short question, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, high school kids are different. They have to be able to, mentally, maturity wise, be able to handle a college locker room right now with as many older guys that are. And listen, the pride of not going to junior college needs to stop too. Like, junior college is real now. I'm a JUCO guy. My brother's a junior college national championship coach. My hitting coach, his dad was a legendary Hall of Fame junior college women's basketball coach out of Kansas, who wound up being a 15-year head coach at Oklahoma State women's basketball. Like, junior college has a real role right now. And our roster, last year, all 4 of our draft picks have been to junior college before they got here at some point in their career. And so, like, junior college is financially really smart to do. Junior college is, from a playing perspective, really important to go get. The most bang for your buck probably is junior college if you're a high school kid. But sometimes we don't let our ego gets in the way of that. Well, I'm too good for junior college. Well, ego is this. It edges greatness out. Go be great at junior college So maybe you can have that bridge to get to Division I school, and maybe you can be an All-American, part of a real team that you can contribute on. And so I don't know, Coach. I gave you a long answer. I'm kind of rambling here, but you got me fired up, and my brain's working really fast right now.
Well, obviously, it's easy to be able to see. I mean, I have heard a lot of great things about Coach Fanning, but I can tell you, if I'm a dad, I'm a parent of a student athlete. If you haven't figured this out by now, I want to plug my son into that energy and really allow that to kind of make my son into a man. And that's really what this whole thing is all about.
True.
After it's all said and done, I talked to Coach Hart at Blinn. I talked to Coach Willis at Eunice. I mean,
Yep.
right now, JUCO is getting athletes that maybe as recently as 2 or 3 years ago weren't going to JUCO, but
Yeah.
now the talent level is spread out. So one of the things I really want to ask you about is the reality now is that a school like maybe 4 to 10 years ago, Austin Peay and national championship, you might have, maybe I don't think so, but now more than ever, every school, as evidenced by a Murray State or a Wright State or some of these schools that took the big boys down to the wire at the supers,
Yeah.
Austin Peay, any school now has a legit shot, not only to get to Omaha, but to do some damage in Omaha. So when you're out talking to these athletes, you're not really selling a pipe dream anymore. It's
Yeah.
the school doesn't make the athlete. The athletes make the school. Talk a little bit about that with regard to your roster, when you're starting to put your roster together.
Well, it's funny. I'm looking. I got my computer up. You can't see this, and I'm not smart enough to share my screen with you. But like, I part of I have a one slide presentation, right? One slide, and I think that now we've been in for 3 years. It's not something I recruit to, and then we never talk about it again. This is in your face daily. I tell people, if I tell all the things that we're trying to do and the things we're not going to allow in our clubhouse and things like that. But like, if you don't believe Austin Peay can get to College World Series and have a chance to win a national championship, then don't come here. That's okay. And if you laugh in your gut, and you think
Amen.
I'm joking, don't freaking come here. I don't want
Right.
you here because like we won 45 dadgum games. We were the second most wins in the country when the season finished. Like we've had one of the top offenses in America. If you don't believe me, call an SEC team we played and see how what that pitching coach thinks. Nobody wanted to see us in a regional, but our conference right now, you have to win the dadgum tournament, right? And we didn't do it. We were 2 games short, and it was heartbreaking because people want to see our team in a regional because we hit homers. We've had guys throw 100. You just don't throw 100 in the SEC. We've had those guys here too, and we're only program in the country that had 2 no-hitters this year too. Write that down. And so my point, yeah, I'm sorry, coach. I'm throwing them in there. My point is
Coming
like,
in hot.
yeah,
Coming in hot.
if you don't think that mid-major baseball is alive and well, then again, you're not watching, you're not looking at it. But again, yeah, I flat out tell them. And we get into the fall and guys aren't maybe giving us the effort we want. I say if you're not willing to commit to this, it's okay. You should pack your stuff up and leave. It's okay. There'll be somebody else right behind you that's ready. I promise you. And again, like our roster is good. The quality is really good, and we're trying to get there. And it's not even like, can we get there? Like we can be there. Like again, and I think we've earned the respect of people. Listen, like us, hate us, love us, whatever. We have earned the respect of people. When you win 80 games in the last 2 years, when you have 5 All-Americans, when you take guys that didn't get to play at the last place they were at and come here and do what we've done, like we've earned respect. And that's all you can ask for in the game.
Well, I want to say thank you because this has been the most enjoyable conversation I have had with a college coach in a very, very long time.
Well, I
So
appreciate the
you are
same.
as authentic as a heart attack. And I'm telling you right now, parents, if you haven't followed Austin Peay baseball in the past, you sure as heck need to start doing that today. Roland Fanning, find him on Twitter and all the social media, but get to a camp, get to the campus. I promise you, there may not be a more beautiful campus than Austin Peay. I've coached many events there. I love the field. I love the complex and the facilities, the trees on the hill. I
That's
mean,
right.
there's a lot of
That's
things
right.
that I love about Austin Peay. But, Coach, best of luck
Thank you.
during the upcoming summer and recruiting. If there's anything that we can ever do for you, please reach out and let me know.
I will. Thank you so much, Coach.
You're very, very welcome. That was freaking awesome.